Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something a little different today, Wabi-Sabi interior design.
It's a fascinating concept.
Yeah, I've been seeing it more and more lately, online and in magazines, but to be honest, I'm not sure I fully get it.
Well, it's definitely more than just a design trend. It's really a whole philosophy, a way of seeing the world.
Okay, that sounds a little intimidating.
Well, don't worry. It's actually quite simple and really beautiful once you understand it.
All right, I'm all ears. So where do we even begin? What exactly is Wabi-Sabi?
Wabi-Sabi, at its core, is about finding beauty in imperfection. It's the appreciation of things that are imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete.
Hmm. Imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. Okay, so not exactly like those perfectly staged homes you see on Instagram then.
No, not at all. Those perfectly curated spaces, they can be beautiful, of course, but they often lack a sense of, uh, well, life. They feel a bit sterile, like
Hmm.
no one actually lives there.
I know exactly what you mean. They always make me feel like I have to be on my best behavior, like I can't put my feet up or, spill a little coffee.
Exactly. Wabi-sabi is the opposite of that. It's about embracing the beauty of everyday life, with all its messes and imperfections. It's about creating spaces that are warm, inviting, and authentic.
That seems really appealing, actually, like giving myself permission to relax a little.
It is. In a wabi-sabi space, a crack in a vase isn't seen as a flaw, but as a reminder of the object's history and its journey. A worn wooden table tells a story of all the meals that have been shared around it.
It's like those imperfections give an object more character, more soul.
Exactly. It's about appreciating the beauty of things that are unique and imperfect, things that have a story to tell.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. So where did this whole idea come from? Is it like a new design trend or something?
Actually, it's been around for centuries. It originated in Japan, deeply rooted in Zen Buddhism and the appreciation of nature's simplicity. Think of a Japanese rock garden or a traditional tea ceremony that's wabi-sabi in action.
Wow, so it's not just about interior design, it's really a whole philosophy of life.
You got it. It's a way of appreciating the beauty in things that are often overlooked or disregarded. It's about slowing down, being present, and finding beauty in the everyday.
I have to admit, I used to think wabi-sabi was just another word for minimalism. Are they the same thing?
They share some similarities, but they're not quite the same. Minimalism is more about reducing clutter and simplifying your possessions. Wabi-sabi, on the other hand, is about appreciating the things you have, flaws and all.
So it's not about how much you have, but more about how you view what you have.
You could say that, yes. It's about appreciating the essence of things, their imperfections and impermanence, and finding beauty in that.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued, but I'm still a little fuzzy on the details. How can we tell if something is truly wabi-sabi? I mean, are there like specific rules or guidelines?
Well, there are a few key principles to keep in mind. We've already talked about imperfection, but there's also impermanence and simplicity.
Okay, let's break those down. What about impermanence? What does that even mean in the context of, decorating your home?
It means appreciating the natural cycle of life, the fact that everything changes. Like think of a flower. It blooms, it wilts, and then it dies. That's the natural order of things, and there's beauty in that cycle.
So instead of freaking out when my new sofa gets a scratch on it, I should embrace it as part of the sofa's journey.
Exactly. Those signs of wear and tear, they become part of the object's story, part of what makes it unique.
Okay, that's a pretty cool way to look at it. What about the third principle? Simplicity. What's that all about?
Simplicity in wabi-sabi is not about being stark or bare. It's about creating a sense of calm and clarity in your surroundings. It's about choosing things that have meaning and purpose and letting go of the clutter that weighs you down.
It kind of sounds like Marie Kondo's idea of only keeping things that spark joy.
Yeah, there's definitely some overlap there. It's about surrounding yourself with things that make you feel good, things that have a story or a connection to your life.
I think I'm starting to get this. It's not about following a bunch of rules or trying to recreate some perfect image. It's about creating a space that feels good, a space that reflects who you are, imperfections and all.
That's exactly it. And, wabi-sabi is often associated with a very neutral color palette.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Lots of beige and gray, right?
There are definitely those earthy tones like soft whites, grays, browns, and muted greens. But that doesn't mean you can't have any color at all.
So it's not like walking into a beige museum.
Not necessarily. You can definitely add pops of color, but it's about doing it in a mindful way. Like, imagine a single vibrant flower in a simple rustic vase, or hand-woven textile with a touch of indigo blue.
Okay, I see what you mean. Those pops of color would really stand out against that calm, neutral backdrop.
Exactly. It's about creating a sense of balance and harmony.
This is really making me rethink my whole approach to decorating. I'm starting to look around my own home and see those imperfections in a new light.
That's the beauty of Wabi-Sabi. It helps you to appreciate the things you already have and to see the beauty in the everyday.
Okay, I'm hooked, but how do we actually bring this into our homes? What are some specific materials we should be looking for? What about furniture, textiles, decor?
Well, that's a great question, and that's exactly what we're going to dive into next.
Okay, so last we left off, we're about to dive into the materials that make a wabi-sabi space. Where do we start?
Well, the key here is to really embrace those materials found in nature. Things that age gracefully, develop character. Think wood, stone, clay, natural fibers.
Okay, I can see where that ties in with the whole wabi-sabi philosophy. I'm thinking like a live edge wood table or a vase with like an organic shape.
Exactly. It's not about those perfectly polished, mass-produced items. It's those unique pieces that show the hand of the maker or the beauty of nature's imperfections.
Right, right. So less IKEA, more, well, what should we be looking for when we're, shopping for wabi-sabi pieces?
Well, for wood, reclaimed wood is always a great option. It's sustainable, plus it already has that beautiful patina, those little imperfections that make it so unique.
Like a big old farmhouse table made from reclaimed barnwood, that kind of thing.
Perfect example. Or smaller pieces too, picture frames, shelves, even a simple wooden bowl.
So it's not about buying all new stuff, it's about seeing the beauty in what we might already have.
Exactly. Like maybe you have an old piece of furniture you were thinking of getting rid of. You should give it a new life instead. A little repair, a fresh coat of paint.
Okay, so that's wood. What about stone? I'm picturing like a stone fireplace or something.
Stone is another great choice. It's durable, has that natural texture and color variation. You could use it for countertops, flooring, even smaller accents.
Okay, I see what you mean. Like instead of a generic soap dispenser in the bathroom, maybe a beautiful, stone one.
Exactly. And don't forget about clay. Handmade ceramics are really a staple in wabi-sabi design.
Oh yeah, those imperfect mugs and bowls you always see. I love those with their unique shapes and like the fingerprints of the artist.
Yes, exactly. Those are the details that make it special. Each piece a work of art, and they add so much warmth to a space.
Okay, so we've covered wood, stone, clay. What about textiles? What kind of fabric should we be thinking about?
Natural fibers are really key here. Things like linen, cotton, wool, jute, hemp. Anything that comes from nature, really.
I'm picturing those chunky knit blankets you see, draped over a linen sofa or something.
Exactly. They have such a beautiful texture. They're comfortable. Plus, they tend to come in those earthy, muted tones that we love in wabi-sabi.
Right, right. So it's all starting to come together now. But I have to ask, how do we actually design a wabi-sabi space? I mean, I'm no interior designer.
Well, the beauty of it is you don't have to be. It's not about following a set of rules. It's really about finding what resonates with you.
Okay, that takes some of the pressure off. But are there any, guidelines or tips to keep in mind? Like, where do we start?
Well, one of the most important things is to embrace those imperfections, those little quirks that make a space unique.
So, if there's a crack in the wall, I shouldn't freak out.
Not at all. It's about seeing those imperfections in a new light, maybe even highlighting them. Think about how you can incorporate them into the design. Maybe you put a piece of art over it or a plant in front of it.
So it's like turning those flaws into features.
Exactly. It's about shifting your perspective and seeing the beauty in those unexpected places. And speaking of perspective, think about light and shadow in a space.
Light and shadow. Okay, how does that play into this?
Well, wabi-sabi is all about honoring natural light. Keep those window treatments simple, let the sunlight flood in, and just notice how the light moves throughout the day, highlighting different features.
That's so true. The way the light hits a textured wall or an object, it's always changing.
Precisely. And when it comes to choosing objects, remember that less is more concept. Be intentional about what you bring into your space.
Right, so instead of cluttering up the shelves, maybe choose a few really special pieces that have meaning.
Exactly. A sculptural branch, a handcrafted bowl, a piece of driftwood. Something that tells a story. Let those objects breathe. Give them space to shine.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. It's not just about stuff, it's about feeling, right?
Exactly. It's about creating a space that feels authentic and inviting. A space that reflects your own personal story. And I think that brings us to a really important point.
All right, so we've talked about the philosophy, the principles, even the materials, but now I want to get specific. Let's actually walk through a Wabi-Sabi home, room by room.
I like it. A Wabi-Sabi house tour. So where shall we begin?
Well, how about the entryway? It's the first impression, right? What do we want people to feel when they walk in?
A sense of calm, a sense of grounding. You want the entryway to be a transition space, like shedding the outside world and stepping into this peaceful sanctuary.
Okay, I can see that. So how do we achieve that? What are we looking at here?
Imagine a simple wooden bench, maybe a little weathered, with a basket underneath for shoes. Instead of a bright, shiny floor, how about natural stone or clay tiles? Maybe with a textured rug like jute or hemp.
I'm loving this already. It's so simple, but so inviting.
And for a focal point, how about a single dramatic piece of driftwood on the wall, like a piece of natural sculpture?
Oh, that's gorgeous. It's like bringing a piece of nature right inside. Okay, from the entryway, let's move into the living room.
The heart of the home. This is where we really want to create that sense of comfort and relaxation.
Right. So what are we thinking here?
Well, low-profile seating is really key. Imagine sinking into a comfy sofa with linen cushions, maybe some floor pillows scattered around for a more casual vibe.
I'm picturing those big, comfy floor cushions you see in like Moroccan homes.
Exactly. And instead of a traditional coffee table, how about a low table made from reclaimed wood or a beautiful slab of stone? Perfect for like a tea ceremony or just hanging out with friends.
You know, I used to think low furniture was kind of impractical, but I'm starting to see how it actually creates a more grounded atmosphere.
Exactly. It invites people to relax, to connect, to be present in the moment. And speaking of being present, this is where those handmade accents we talked about can really shine.
Okay, let's get specific. What kind of accents are we thinking?
Well, imagine a ceramic vase with a single branch, a hand-woven tapestry on the wall, or maybe a few well-loved books displayed on a simple wooden shelf. But remember, negative space is important too.
You mean like leaving some areas empty?
Exactly. It allows the eye to rest, creates a sense of calm and spaciousness.
It's like giving those objects room to breathe. Okay, from the living room, let's head to the dining room. How do we bring Wabi-Sabi into the space where we share meals?
The dining room is all about creating a space that feels warm and inviting, where people can gather and enjoy each other's company without feeling like they have to be, on display.
So less formal dining, more family-style gathering.
Exactly. Imagine a sturdy wooden table, maybe a vintage piece with a beautiful patina, or a newer table crafted from reclaimed wood. And don't be afraid to mix and match chairs, each one with its own unique character and history.
Ooh, I love that. And what about tableware?
Keep it simple. Think earthy tones, natural textures. Those imperfect ceramic plates and bowls we talked about would be perfect here.
And instead of a perfectly ironed tablecloth, maybe just a simple linen runner with some natural wrinkles.
You got it. It's about embracing those imperfections, those signs of life that make a space feel real. All right, now let's head into the kitchen.
The kitchen. Okay, this one's a little tricky for me. It's such a functional space. How do we make it feel wabi-sabi without sacrificing practicality?
Natural materials are key here, just like in the other rooms. Imagine countertops made of stone or wood, open shelving that displays your beautiful cookware, a simple backsplash made of textured tiles.
So it's not about having a sterile all-white kitchen. We can still have modern appliances, but we just warm it up with those natural elements.
Exactly. It's all about that balance. Maybe you have a sleek stainless steel sink, but pair it with wooden countertops and open shelving that shows off your collection of handmade mugs.
I like that. And instead of hiding everything away in cabinets, let's embrace the beauty of everyday objects, right?
Right. Display those wooden cutting boards, ceramic canisters, maybe even a collection of vintage teapots. Let those objects tell a story.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all comes together. It's like finding those little moments of beauty in the everyday. Okay, from the kitchen, let's move on to the bedroom, our sanctuary, the place where we rest and recharge.
The bedroom is all about creating a sense of calm and serenity. Imagine a low-platform bed with a natural fiber mattress dressed in soft linen bedding in those calming colors, white, gray, beige.
I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it.
And instead of a bulky headboard, how about a simple piece of driftwood or a hand-woven tapestry? And on the nightstand, just a few meaningful objects. A favorite book, a small vase with a single flower, a candle.
It's like creating a little oasis of peace.
Exactly. It's about stripping away the excess and creating a space that feels truly restorative. And speaking of restorative, let's not forget about the bathroom.
The bathroom. Okay, I wouldn't normally think of the bathroom as a place for, design inspiration.
I know, right? But think about it.
Yeah.
It's the place where we start and end our days. It's a space for cleansing and renewal, and it can definitely be infused with wabi-sabi.
Okay, convince me. What are we doing in here?
Imagine natural materials, like stone or wood for the flooring and vanity. A freestanding soaking tub is always a beautiful way to create a spa-like atmosphere. And instead of harsh overhead lighting, opt for soft, diffused lighting.
I'm picturing candles, maybe some lanterns, something like that.
Perfect. And those soft organic cotton towels we talked about would be perfect in here, maybe rolled up in a woven basket.
It's amazing how all these elements come together to create such a different feeling.
It really is. It's about bringing those wabi-sabi principles into every aspect of your home, even the smallest details.
Well, I have to say, this has been an incredible journey. I feel like I've not only learned about a new design style, but also a whole new way of seeing the world.
That's the beauty of wabi-sabi. It's not just about aesthetics. It's about cultivating a sense of peace, gratitude, and contentment in our lives.
And that's something we could all use a little more of, right?
Absolutely. So for our listeners out there, we encourage you to look around your own homes with fresh eyes. What imperfections can you start to appreciate? What simple changes can you make to bring a little more wabi-sabi into your life? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.